Among the distinctive visuals provided by every NFL game are the venue-specific ones, stadiums adding their own colors, backdrops and quirks that provide unique layers to football environments that fans have generally come to appreciate in person and/or on platforms like EA Sports Signature, Madden NFL, video game. The arrival of Week 5 means the start of this year's international series, London's Tottenham Hotspur Stadium the host for Sunday morning's meeting of the New York Jets and Minnesota Vikings. It will be the second foreign facility employed this year after Corinthians Arena in São Paulo, Brazil, became the 100th different stadium used to stage a regular season game during the Super Bowl era since 1966. As for the more familiar facilities that football fans could reasonably road trip to, with autumn now in full swing, it seemed as good a time as any to assess and rank, with the help of our league experts who have paid frequent visits to them, all 30 regularly used NFL stadiums. Play button year opened, 1957. Play button capacity, 81,041. Play button surface, CIS grass. Play button Packers record there, 276-137-6. Play button Super Bowls hosted, 0. Lambeau is what all NFL stadiums should be. It has all of the amenities required in 2024, with jumbo video boards in both end zones, luxury suites galore and a first-rate locker room for the Packers. No, it doesn't have a dome, but football was intended to be played in the elements. If not, we wouldn't all be endlessly entertained by snow globe games and shots of fans wearing more layers than a 4-year-old playing in the snow. But I digress. Notes: 6 USA Today sports writers who regularly cover the NFL were polled in order to achieve a collective staff ranking. Club win-loss records in respective stadiums are through the 2023 season and include playoffs. 1. Lumen Field, Seattle Seahawks play button year opened, 2002. NFL Stats Central. The latest NFL scores, schedules, odds, stats and more. Play button capacity, 68,740. Play button surface, field turf. Play button Seahawks record there, 129-60. Play button Super Bowls hosted, 0. It's a retroactive crime that the team and its rabid 12s were stuck in the concrete kingdom for nearly a quarter century, though maybe they got even by propagating the wave throughout the sporting world. Moving on. Lumen Field's gorgeous architecture, reverberating cacophony when the Seahawks are good, it redirects off the cantilevered roof that covers most of the seats down onto the playing field, wet weather, proximity to downtown Seattle which can be seen beyond the Hawks' nest, seating behind the north end zone, where the most caffeinated 12s convene, the interior shrine to Washington's high school football teams, save natural grass, it's basically everything you'd want in a stadium. Also, hell of a place to see a concert, especially if, say, Pearl Jam's Eddie Vedder shows up to front a song or two in a U2 show. Nate Davis. 2. Lambeau Field, Green Bay Packers play button year opened, 2020. Play button capacity, 71,500. Play button surface, artificial turf, Hellas 44 ounces. Matrix system, play button Chargers record there, 16-18. Play button Rams record there, 23-14. Play button Super Bowls hosted, 156 LVI, 2022. Play button Future Super Bowl site, 61 LXI, 2027. The plan when SoFi Stadium opened was for the site to be a sports epicenter, and it has delivered. Also scheduled to be featured prominently during the 2028 Summer Olympics, SoFi is unique in its design as there's a canopy that covers a majority of the stadium, a massive 360-degree double-sided video board hanging from the ceiling, and the YouTube theater is attached on the outside of the bowl. It's located in the heart of Inglewood and across the street from the iconic Kia Forum, formerly known as the Great Western Forum, so there's even a nostalgic element as fans drive up. Tyler Dragon. 5. AT&T Stadium, Dallas Cowboys play button year opened, 2016. Play button capacity, 66,468. Play button surface, ACT Global Extreme Turf. Play button Vikings record there, 43-24. Play button Super Bowls hosted, 152 Lee, 2018. While playing in inclement weather should ideally be football law, if you're going to take the game indoors, and we are talking about downtown Minneapolis and the sub-freezing and even sub-zero temperatures that often descend there late in the season, it doesn't get much better than this. The partially translucent roof and facade allows spectators to see the elements without actually being subject to them. In the Norse ambience, from the crowd's skull chant, to the fake snow that falls from the rafters, to the Yallerhorn suspended above the field that a special guest sounds before the game, to the pervasive feeling that you're in a massive Viking longship or mead hall, you wonder how the locals ever put up with the Metrodome for so long. Nate Davis. 4. Sophie Stadium, Los Angeles Chargers, Los Angeles Rams. It's not only the stadium and all the history that's occurred there that make Lambeau so special, it's what surrounds it. For those not fortunate enough to have been there, it's set in the middle of a neighborhood. Literally, there are people for whom Lambeau is their backyard. They will let you park in their driveway or on their lawn, and they will do this for a ridiculously low fee. Offer you a bratwurst and the use of their bathroom while they're at it. It's the perfect blend of quaint, old word charm and modern glitz, and there is nothing else in the NFL like it. Nancy Armour. 3. U.S. Bank Stadium, Minnesota Vikings. No, you can't miss the TV. 2 gigantic video boards suspend 90 feet above the playing field, measuring 160 feet long and 72 feet wide. Not including the side boards, that's the equivalent of 3,252-inch flat-screen TVs. Jones will tell you the idea for the boards was inspired when he attended a Celine Dion concert in Las Vegas and loved the huge video board at the back of the stage. In any event, no worries if you leave your seat. You can get lost and not miss a bit of the action. There are video screens everywhere, at concession lines, on concourses, even in restrooms, with 3,000 monitors throughout the stadium. Besides the 10 stadium clubs, wine bars and more concessions options than you can shake a stick at, you can be blown away by the art gallery that accents the place. There are more than 38 commissioned pieces of art, including the Sky Mirror, outside one of the main entrances. That doesn't include the hundreds of photos of Cowboys players and key moments from the franchise's history displayed throughout. Restless, you can also take in the game on one of the 2 outdoor plazas with manicured lawns and of course, huge video boards and concessions adjacent to the stadium. All in all, there's something for everyone to see, not a bad perk if the game is a dud. Jarrett Bell. 6. Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas Raiders. Play button. Year opened, 2020. Play button. Capacity, 65,000. Play button. Surface, natural Bermuda. Play button. Raiders record there, 17-17. Play button. Super Bowls hosted, 158 LVIII, 2024. Do you have money, lots of friends? Then Allegiant Stadium would actually be a cool place to watch a game. I think I walked every square inch of the place before last season's Super Bowl. My main takeaway was how much club seating, suites on every level, exclusive lounges, Mark Davis packed into the place. Vegas is the perfect town for that type of strategy, and it all seems like a cool time. The gripe about location is that the better end of the strip is on the opposite side, far from the stadium. Does it live up to the $1.9 billion price tag? Difficult to say. It clearly was made with designs of hosting concerts and who knows what else. But there are no bad sidelines for football games. And the in-stadium food is top-notch. Chris Bambaka. 7. Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Atlanta Falcons. Play button. Year opened, 2009. Play button. Capacity, 80,000, expandable to 100,000. Play button. Surface, soft top matrix turf. Play button. Cowboys record there, 77-50. Play button. Super Bowls hosted, 145 XLV, 2011. They call it Jerry World, which is the perfect moniker for the swanky stadium most likely to be confused for a theme park. I mean, there's no other NFL stadium that features a hologram of the team's owner with an AI-generated ability to take questions from fans. Meet Jerry Jones, an interactive experience. What a hoot. Personally, I think the best look for this vibrant palace is when the retractable roof is open and the retractable glass doors behind each end zone are opened. Play button. Year opened, 1972. Play button. Capacity, 73,426. Play button. Surface, grass. Play button. Chiefs record there, 256-1681. Play button. Super Bowls hosted, 0. There's a reason why young opposing quarterbacks pretty much never win on their first visit to Arrowhead. It's the noise. Goes perfectly with the sea of red visual in the stands. With the crowd noise once measured at a Guinness record 142.2 decibels, one might find it difficult to think, let alone bark signals to be heard while in the midst of such a rowdy environment. Hand signals. That's the ticket. There are wide concourses, including a 100-yard club, extending the length of the field in the upper deck. Then there's the vibe, juiced during Falcons games by a DJ situated on a plaza and by the Dirty Bird's Nest, a section 134 in the lower deck that is pretty much a party within a game. And hey, the stadium is accessible by the subway system known as MARTA, which has done its part in easing traffic. All in all, the city demolished the Georgia Dome and made a glitzy stadium way better than its predecessor. Now if the Falcons can only field a consistent winner, Jarrett Bell. 8. GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City Chiefs play button year opened, 2017. Play button capacity, 72,000 expandable to 75,000. Play button surface, field turf. Play button Falcons record there, 26-30. Play button Super Bowls hosted, 153 LIII, 2019. What a sweet place, and not just because of the pinwheel design of the retractable roof, the circular video board aka the halo, hanging above the field, or the view of the Atlanta skyline through the glass panels beyond the East End zone. The customer-friendly principles that Falcons owner Arthur Blank built into the building represent a huge reason the venue pops. They call it fan-first pricing when it comes to concessions, which means patrons can get a $2 soda with 3 free refills and a $5 beer, contrasting the gouging that exists at so many stadiums. And the food has a Best of Atlanta theme, with local vendors serving it without an in-stadium markup. Sorry, but despite the huge bucks dropped on the naming rights deal, I'm still challenged to call the home of the Kansas City Chiefs GEHA Field. I mean, it's been Arrowhead since it opened. In any event, Taylor Swift apparently thinks it's a cool venue. And no place in the NFL does tailgating like Arrowhead, which can boast the best-smelling parking lot in the league because, in these parts, the rabid fans know a thing or two about how to barbecue. Jarrett Bell. 9. Caesars Superdome, New Orleans Saints play button year opened, 2001. Play button capacity, 68,400. Play button surface, natural grass. Play button Steelers record there, 139,592. Play button Super Bowls hosted, 0. Amazing how one can pine for corporate promotion, but how we, miss, Heinz Field. But this is a great yard, its riverfront location even allowing for drop-off via ferry, plus a nice view of downtown Pittsburgh from the stadium's open end. Make sure to visit the Steelers Hall of Honor Museum inside the stadium before hopefully taking in a late-season contest against the Ravens with the wind whipping and blowing field goal tries off target and the sod torn up. Of course, gonna be tough to ever top Bane blowing up Gotham City Stadium in The Dark Knight Rises, though props to ex-Pittsburgh receiver Hines Ward for scoring despite the explosives. Nate Davis. 11. Hard Rock Stadium, Miami Dolphins play button year opened, 1975. Play button capacity, 73,000. Play button surface, Turf Nation M6. Play button Saints record there, 203-186. Play button Super Bowls hosted, 7-12-12, 1978, 15-15, 1981, 20XX, 1986, 24-24, 1990, 31-31, 1997, 36-36, 2002, 48 XLVII, 2013. Play button Future Super Bowl site, 59 Licks, 2025. The NFL's oldest operating dome occasionally feels like it, though the Superdome continues to get occasional upgrades aimed at keeping it as modernized as possible, aside from the major ones necessitated by the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina in 2005. But the atmosphere never fails to deliver, hardcore Saints fans treating every home date as Mardi Gras, decked out appropriately, of course, and typically making this one of the toughest places for visiting teams to play. There's no avoiding the din of the crowd in the open-air press box, until you leave the premises, which isn't a long walk from the city's famed French Quarter. Whether a regular season game in October or the Super Bowl, whether the lights are working or not, cool place to take in a game. Nate Davis. 10. Acrisure Stadium, Pittsburgh Steelers play button year opened, 1987. Play button capacity, 64,992. Play button surface, grass. Play button Dolphins record there, 181-121. Play button Super Bowls hosted, 6-23-23, 1989, 29-29, 1995, 33-33, 1999, 42 XLI, 2007, 44 XLIV, 2010, 54 Live, 2020. Opposing fans circle this trip on their calendars every year and wonder, why are my team and I broiling in the Miami sun when the other side of the stadium is in the shade? Are we early to our seats, because Dolphins fans are still tailgating outside? They play tennis and race Formula One cars here, too. It may not boast the historic charm some NFL venues offer, but it's a slice of an eclectic city where sports and entertainment converge. Don't forget your bathing suit. Saifedean. 12. Lucas Oil Stadium, Indianapolis.